Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be looking at Camp Guardian. This was requested by several of you, so big shout out to Chungus666, Ian Boykin, and William Broad9. Huge shout out to Chungus and Ian Boykin for all of their support in this series and giving me so many recommendations. Now, this location is in the northeast part of the map on the northern part of Lake Mead, directly across from the fort. And one more thing I want to address, when I envisioned this series, I envisioned short videos that are easy to digest. However, this place was just too incredible to put into a short video, so I really wanted to include the full experience. As you come up on Camp Guardian, you notice some fences, and you get this radio message. There are various messages like the camp was attacked, I think I'm the only one left alive, my goddamn leg, I don't know how much longer I'll make it, Bravo, come in Bravo, etc. So you can go check it out yourself if you want to see more of the messages. And as you can see here, I come up on the Camp Guardian sign and it says elevation really high. Now as you make your way up to the top, you're going to come across several notes. And I decided to do the notes in the order of which they were written, not in the order that you discover them. So the first note reads, Day 3. This place is a mess. Most of the old hiking trails are buried in landslides, and the rest is so dusted you can't tell which direction you're supposed to go. I don't know what the hell the survey team was thinking when they said this was a strategically sound location. At least we were issued plenty of rations, and the river has plenty of fresh water. We could eat for months. Let's hope tomorrow brings some headway cleaning this place up. So as we can tell, the NCR troopers here had a lot of difficulty. The next note is caught in a bush directly ahead. Day 5. We've managed to shovel most of the debris up to the first bridge. This thing looks like a wreck. Thankfully, there were a few wooden shacks around here we can dismantle for scrap to rebuild. I just hope we don't run out of scrap before we finish the trail. Jackson says he heard some kind of howling the other night. It sounded like the wind to me. So this note introduces this Jackson character who is hearing noises. The next note is directly in front of us, and it reads, Day 7. Okay, we're making good headway cleaning up the paths. With only the 12 of us, I'm amazed we moved this much rock in such a short time. Kale and I made it to the top yesterday. The survey team was right. Guardian Peak was one hell of a view, but we still have a lot of work ahead of us. I sent our runner to Bravo to request a radio from McCarran. There isn't much point in having an overwatch camp here if it takes us at least an hour to sprint to Bravo to report a Legion assault. This note informs us of the primary goal here, which was to watch the Legion. The next note is on the staircase and it reads, Day 8. More complaints of strange noises by Jackson. I'm starting to think he still has some unresolved issues after seeing his last squad wiped out by a Legion slaver squad to the south. I sent out a few men to investigate, but they couldn't find anything. I think should keep Jackson away from the munitions until he calms down. In that note, there was a small grammar mistake. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. The next note is found in a bush, and it reads, Day 12. We managed to get the rest of the path cleared. Some pre-war fencing was mostly intact, and we were able to set it up as a makeshift barrier on the more dangerous cliffs. I hope none of these jarheads fall off. We found a few cave entrances as we were clearing rubble. They lead back to each other with just a single collapsed path which appears to lead down into the mountain. The damn survey team didn't mention any caves. I hope we don't find any more little surprises. And with that journal entry, we learn about caves beneath Camp Guardian. As we continue our way up towards the peak of Camp Guardian, we're going to encounter some rad scorpions. No problem for me, Eddie, and Arcade. Now this path is really windy, and you can discover a lot of the old world relics here, like picnic tables and grills. There's also some crops and a scarecrow that I'm assuming the NCR put here as they anticipated a more permanent setup. Now, as someone who loves hiking, this quest got me thinking. In a world such as Fallout, hiking is not really such a concept because This old hiking trail is now such a dangerous place in the post-apocalyptic world. We discover our next 2 notes on this cliff, the first of which reads, Day 13. It's been almost a week and still no sign of a radio from McCarran. I'm sending a runner to Bravo to see if they can spare a handheld or any other radio gear until McCarran can get around to sending the gear I requested. I swear, those dumb bastards back at command expect us to use carrier pigeons or something. And the next note on the edge of the cliff reads, Day 14. It's been a week and still no sign of a radio from McCarran. At least Bravo was nice enough to give us a handheld so we can relay to them in the meantime should Caesar try anything. Halford will get the radio set up if and when it finally arrives. For now, he's in charge of the handheld and daily reports to Bravo. In the note before this one, I found it really interesting because they mentioned carrier pigeons, which were used in the First World War, which means the NCR has some pretty good history education if soldiers know about World War I and the tactics used by the soldiers during that time period. As we continue up the stairs, we finally reach the peak and see that 2-headed bear flag marking the camp here at Camp Guardian. The place is overrun with giant rats, and the camp has clearly been abandoned by the NCR troops which used to inhabit it. As we cross the bridge and discover Guardian Peak, we find the next note. Day 15. The handheld is working well enough, and we finished building steps up the steeper sections of the path. We can finally move the rest of our gear to the top. Last night, Jackson came screaming into the tent, swearing up and down he saw shadows moving in the water. I know legionaries are known to be fast runners, but swimming across the river, I sent half of the men in pairs to search the area. But again, we came up empty-handed. I'm starting to think Jackson is unstable and may need counseling. I'll request a replacement when we get the radio from McCarran. Here we can see Sergeant Banner, who wrote all of these journal entries, is becoming distrustful of Jackson. The next note reads, Day 18. We finally got the radio from McCarran. I've set it up on the peak so anyone on Overwatch duty can quickly radio in if the Legion makes a move. I'd like to know which genius back at command decided to send a squad to this location, but didn't think to give us a radio so we could actually call in an attack. Probably another politician's son. This note serves as a reminder to the nepotism that we can see in the NCR. Nepotism is a big issue within the NCR and is what hurts it as a faction that can benefit the Mojave Wasteland. The next note reads, Day 19. Okay, now I'm starting to hear noises. During my watch last night, I definitely heard splashes down in the water. I requested an additional survey from McCarran, but they blew it off as nerves. Fish don't make that much damn noise. I sent down half of the squad with lamps, but they couldn't see anything. We can't find any other cave openings. Maybe I've caught a little crazy from Jackson. I wish we had some cat's eye. Can't see shit at night. And here we can see Sergeant Banner is getting a little uneasy as he too is beginning to hear those noises that Jackson heard. At the top, we can find the ham radio that Banner talks about and the final note next to this chair and binoculars. Day 20. More surprises. Collins came across a cave entrance right behind our damn tent. The survey team should have caught this if they've done a thorough job. I have no idea if anything is in there, but we don't have the manpower to deal with any serious pests. I'm going to have some choice words for Burke the next time I see him. This isn't the first time that idiot skipped over details while surveying an area. I hope to God we're not sitting on some kind of nest. I'm going to send in Frakes and Collins to scout the caves tomorrow. If we have to, we'll use explosives to collapse the cave. As you read through all of these notes, you come to a realization of where you are. You're on top of Guardian Peak, where these NCR soldiers were and are now missing. There's some kind of horror lying beneath the mountain. You're treated with a truly majestic view of the fort and Lake Mead, but something terrifying is just beneath your feet. Back at the NCR camp, we can find that it was left in chaos. Bottles and cans are everywhere, and behind the tent is a cave. As we enter this cave, we see a crate with C4 on top of it. This is clearly the crate that Sergeant Banner was talking about to collapse the tunnel in case something bad was down here. As we continue further into the cave, we eventually will discover a dead lake lurk and then an injured NCR soldier. If we have medicine or a high enough medical stat, we can help out Private Halford.
I didn't think I'd ever see another human face down here. You must be the backup I've been calling for. Where are the rest of your men? Shit. Do you have any damn idea what lives in these caves? We need to get out of... We need to go now! I managed to kill that thing, but not before it mangled my leg all up. No way I'm walking out of here like this. I've been keeping quiet and hoping they don't realize one of their buddies is missing. We need to get out of here before they come back. Thanks a lot, Doc. I think I should be able to walk out of here now. I don't want to risk running into a pack of those freaks alone, though. Could you escort me out of here? You haven't seen what they did to the other troopers, and I'd rather not find... All right, you have a point. Can't guarantee I'll be much help against their numbers, but I'll do what I can. Chances are we... Over here. Thanks for getting me out of there. I better get started back to California. I know, but now that I can see the way out, I'm not so sure. I'm gonna start heading back to California now. I'm not about to let myself get killed by future NCR incompetence. If you find my friends, please return their dog tags to the NCR. People need to know what happened here. If they won't listen, do what you can to make them listen. The dead need to be avenged.
Now, after leading Private Halford back to the entrance, I actually got a kind of glitch, because he said he was going to leave for California, but instead of leaving this entrance, he decided to try to run through the entire cave to the other exit. A reminder, I have not cleared out this cave of lake lurks yet, so he's essentially committing suicide. After Halford was killed, I continued my journey into the cave. There were several lake lurks that I had to take out with the help of Eddie and Arcade Gannon. Now, as I mentioned before, lake lurks are really scary to me because they remind me of 1950s horror, and as a kid, I absolutely hated lake lurks. Somebody else commented that mirelurks are more scary, but to me, mirelurks are just giant crabs, and I love crabs, they're so delicious. Whereas these mirelurks are very reminiscent of the monster from the creature from the Black Lagoon, and this overall, they look much more scary to me. Of course, you can have your own opinion, but I really hope lake lurks make a return in future Fallout games. Eventually, you get to this main chamber with the lake lurk king, and you discover several dead NCR, and you can take their dog tags. Now, upon killing the lake lurk king, it will actually send the rest of the lake lurks into a frenzy, and they will attack each other, making it easier for you. So if you come here, you want to target the lake lurk king, but that can be a bit difficult since he's surrounded by several lake lurks. After eliminating all the lake lurks, I was able to enjoy the true beauty and horror of this place. As you enter this final chamber, you will find a shallow pool of water. At the end, you will find the exit, and all you have to do is swim down and go through, and you will be welcomed by the warm and safe Mojave sunlight. This is truly one of the most incredible experiences I've had in this game, and I cannot believe after how many times I've played through this game, I've never seen this place and I've never experienced it. So I just want to give a sincere thank you to all the people who recommended this and for watching this long video. If you guys have any more recommendations on where you want me to visit next, please leave them in the comment section below.